I sometimes feel it's quite natural for some Indians to feel, why should I care about Tibet and Tibetans? The harassment we are getting from the border is because of all these Tibetan refugees. On 2nd September this year, we celebrated Democracy Day, the exiled Tibetan community. And for us, this day is more than a celebration. It is a reminder to all the exiled Tibetan that though we have lost our country, but our leadership is so adamant to give, enhance our responsibility that he gave us democracy. In exile, he gave his people freedom, equality, and responsibilities, the values we never stop believing in, even though our country remains under occupation and repression. India has been at the heart of this journey, not only because India gave His Holiness and Tibetans a home away from home, but also because the values of truth, justice, and freedom that the Tibetans are striving for deeply resonate with the civilizational spirit of India. So, more than ever, we look to Indian people, to the Indian policymakers, to the Indian scholars, to the Indian researchers, to Indian media, to keep the story of Tibet alive, and to stand with us in ensuring that the message of compassion triumphs over oppression. As youth, you represent future. Your awareness, your empathy, your action can help keep the struggle of Tibet alive and to ensure that the value of human rights, democracy, freedom, and rule of law, the values we uphold, continue to guide our shared journey. On behalf of Tibetans around the globe, I urge you to continue to raise your voice for Tibet in both print and social media so that our struggle is not silenced, so that one day human right, freedom, and justice not only prevail but flourish again in the land of Tibet itself. I sometimes feel it's quite natural for some Indians to feel, why should I care about Tibet and Tibetans? The harassment we are getting from the border is because of all these Tibetan refugees. It's quite natural. I mean, anyone who doesn't have the depth of the knowledge of the value of Tibet will think it that way. And we have nothing against it. We can understand it. But sometimes I sometimes feel that this question is often overlooked. Yet it is deeply connected with India's past, present, and future. Why Tibet matters to India. The bond between Tibet and India is not just geographical, it's civilizational. The Indian masters like Padmasambhava and Adisha brought Buddhism to Tibet, but the Tibetan scholars preserved the Indian text that might have been lost by humanity at large. Thus, Tibet is a custodian of Indian civilization. Spiritually, Tibet kept alive every teaching of Buddha that originated here. Today, monasteries across India and beyond are the living centers of Indian philosophy, reminding us of our shared heritage. Environmentally also, the source of great rivers like Brahmaputra and Indus is Tibet. Tibet's fragile plateau directly impacts India's water, agriculture, and climate. Protecting Tibet thus becomes Indian national interest. Alongside, Tibet also carries vast treasures of traditional knowledge, be it medicine, astrology, sustainable living at the high altitude, many of which have Indian roots. Preserving them benefits all humanity. Diplomatically too, Tibet matters. Since Tibet's illegal occupation, the whole geopolitics of India changed. Asia changed, bringing India and China face to face on a long contested border. The future of Tibet affects not only India's security, but also the balance of power in South and Southeast Asia. Therefore, Tibet matters, in a nutshell. Yet, friends, we must acknowledge the pressing reality. Despite our commitment, our refugees who are here in exile, due to our limited resources and human resource and manpower, we fall short of reaching out to the vast citizens of India and to the world. In India, the senior Indians who have lived and experienced the colonial British Raj fought for the independence of India. The Indian scholars and politicians who deeply understood the value of Tibet, they are getting fewer and fewer amidst us. The young Indians today know very little about Tibet, or they are unaware about the importance of Tibet. Therefore, your role as scholars, your researchers, becomes significant to study, write, and share Tibet's history, present reality, ensuring that it becomes part of India's collective consciousness. Therefore, I appeal to all of you. Take this as an opportunity and responsibility. Be the voice that carries Tibet's story to your peers, within your campuses, and within your community. By supporting Tibet, you are not only helping Tibetans, but you are also safeguarding your own Indian heritage and future. I conclude my talk by wishing you all good health and all the best for your future endeavor, and may your work shine the light of truth for generations to come. Satyameva Jayate. Thank you for your attention. Thank you.